Broken Melodies was and will always remain special to me. It's a story that I long waited to tell because it took a lot of strength from me to face up to the various truths that it threw up at me from its pages. The biggest one of these was that even for a child free from illness and material want, childhood is not always the happiest and the most magical time of her life, and memories of growing up and of family are not always filled with nostalgia and with yearning as stories, books and poems would have us believe.
Paji only wore kurta pajamas, or worse still, the occasional kurta dhoti. Niyati had once asked him about this sartorial preference. He had smiled benignly and explained that he was a respected artist and an example-setting guru to his devoted shishyas, whom he taught at the prestigious Sangeet Kala Bharati. He did not go to an office like ordinary men who wore shirt and trousers. Yet she wished he would wear a shirt and trousers once in a while like normal fathers. But he just never did. That's why Niyati did not like him coming to her school on parent-teacher meeting days. And so it was always Mama who attended them.
Mummy had not said exactly that. She said, with hurt in her voice, I am not complaining. I chose to marry you. And I stand by my choice. I don't regret anything, except for the fact that you have changed so much since the marriage. You only think of yourself and no one else since a long time now. Paji's eyes were now flashing. No, Sumiran, no. It's you who never thinks about me. Sumiran, once upon a time you loved my music. You loved everything about me, even my poverty. Not now. Not since I can remember. Now, I love our children. Is that any less?
Niyati, you know what? She exclaimed, spreading out the paper before Niyati as she sat up lazily. I'm taking up a part-time job as assistant editor in this youth evening. Isn't that great? Didi's eyes were sparkling like a child's. Her enthusiasm was infectious. Didi, will you get money for this job? Niyati asked excitedly. Of course, my Jaan. What do you think? Nisha laughed and then paused with mischief in her eyes. And guess what? What, Didi? When I get my first salary, we'll go to Madras Coffee House. You, me and Mummy. Just the three of us.
Didi was so honest herself, so innately good, and always looking after the smallest of her needs, talking to her and taking her out. How could she lie to Didi? Still, Niyati also didn't like the way Nisha spoke to Mummy these days. She also missed being with Mummy so much, and their threesome coffee house visits, which had totally ceased these days.
Ustadji used to say that my music was like the much awaited and revered Indian rain in all its glory. When I married your mother, she sang beautifully and wanted to be my student forever. She understood that my soul was living in these ragas and alaps. I thought she was different. But at some point in time, she developed this insatiable need for money, just like the rest of the people in the family that she came from. And with it came the neglect towards this spiritual quest. She began deriding me for not being able to earn more. Tell me, beta. He looked at Nisha. How does one sell one's own parents to the hunger for money? Music is my parent. I went hungry many a time, but I did not compromise. In the age of synthesizers and keyboard music, there were infinite possibilities for me to have made a commercial success of my music. I know that if I had done that, it would have made your mother happier, I suppose. But it was not an option for me. So I decided never to succumb.
He was lying on the grass under the shade of their favorite tree. Niyati's chunni covering his face from the brightness of the fading sun. I thought she was just threatening me in her anger. But she actually went and told your parents? It's unbelievable. Said Chandan. Tell me what happened at home, Chandan. What exactly did your parents say to you? Nothing much, he said. Chandan, Niyati's voice had an urgency about it. Will you leave me now? What are you humming all this while? Niyati was agitated. What do I interpret of this She pulled away her chunni from Chandan's face. He sat up, strands of dry grass sticking on his back and hair. Niyati was looking away from him, fuming, rather coquettishly now. Chandan shifted closer to her. Taking her face in his palms, he looked into her eyes and smiled mischievously. When she didn't smile back, he stopped smiling. Look here. Niyati, look here. I'm here forever with you.
For children like Niyati, their childhood is a time of intense helplessness and a hope that dies a little each day as they witness the hatred that exists between the two people they love the most, their parents. At this point, I recall a famous quote that says that the greatest gift that a father can give his children is to love their mother. In the end, though, I believe that every Niyati will grow up one day to find her anchor, and her life's broken melodies will be music once more.